IALTA, the company dedicated to building knowledge and setting the standards in the technical sector of aviation leasing. Welcome to our free certificate course on the Introduction to Aircraft Technical Records. This is video number 5 in our series of 11 videos introducing you to aircraft technical records. The aim of this video is to discuss, at a very high level, the technical return conditions that the returning airline must adhere to in the lease agreement, and the significance of the returning airline providing a certified status list. A reminder that in our scenario, we will be representing the lessor, and therefore they will want to receive back the aircraft in the best condition possible so that its value is maintained and to make it easier to get it back on lease to another airline. The lessor will share with you a copy of the lease agreement, and in particular, the sections relating to the technical return conditions. Over the next number of slides, we will highlight some typical return condition examples. The new lessee, such as an airline, would not be expected to carry out tasks on the aircraft in the early months of its lease. So therefore, the lessor will build in clearance periods on the technical return conditions of the returning airline's contract. Note also that the next lessee will have delivery conditions outlined in its lease contract to ensure that the technical clearance periods are in place, and that they will also be reviewing the technical records to ensure that the aircraft meets their new lease agreement. Over the next number of slides, we will give a high-level introduction to the technical return conditions that the technical records consultant would extract from the lease contract to ensure that the aircraft is returned in a suitable condition for its next lease. In video number 6, we will learn about the last done next due document, or LDND. This relates to the maintenance tasks on the aircraft. As an example, typical wording on the return conditions might state that tasks are cleared for 36 months, 12,000 flight hours, and 8,000 flight cycles in accordance with the manufacturer's current maintenance planning document, or MPD. In video 7, we will cover airworthiness directives, ADs, and service bulletins, SBs. As an example, the returning airline's contract could ask that all ADs and SBs are cleared for 6 months, 1,000 flight hours, and 1,000 flight cycles. In video 8, sample wording in the contract relating to components might look like this. Hard time and life limit components will not have less than 3,000 flight hours, 2,000 cycles, and 12 months, whichever is the most limiting factor. Video 9 in this series looks at engines. Technical return conditions relating to these high-cost parts could typically state that there must be not less than 4,000 engine flight hours and 3,000 engine flight cycles of life remaining to the next expected removal. Engine life limited parts, or LLPs, will have a minimum of 3,000 flight cycles remaining. Video 9 also covers the landing gears. Some typical wording on clearance periods for landing gear will state that they have a minimum of 4,500 cycles, or 24 months, whichever is the limiting factor, of life remaining to the next expected removal for overhaul. In relation to the aircraft structure and sheet metal, which is covered in video 10, typical wording on the return conditions will look for all repairs to be smooth and level in aerodynamically sensitive areas. The repair must also be permanent and not subject to a repeat inspection requirement. The fuselage must be painted white or in the next lessee's livery. The next step in the process is to receive the certified status list from the returning airline's planning and engineering department. This document will be signed by the airline's Continued Airworthiness Manager, or CAM, if a YASA operator. For non-YASA operators, the airline's head of quality will certify and date the status list. So what is the status list? It is a signed and dated set of technical records to confirm the condition and status of the aircraft at the date received. The status list is downloaded from the airline's maintenance software platform. Always request it in Excel format to make your job easier. The status list will indicate when maintenance tasks were performed, when components were replaced, ADs and SBs performed, what modifications were implemented, what structural repairs have been performed on the aircraft, engine and landing gear overhaul records, flight hours and flight cycles, and aircraft utilization reports. Another point to note about the status reports is that they are a hard date point that allow you to commence the technical record review. The status reports will be certified and indicate 1. The actual total aircraft hours, 2. The actual total aircraft cycles, and 3. The date on which the report was created. In videos number 6 to 11, we will break out the technical records into sections that will assist in explaining the review process. Congratulations on completing video number 5, Technical Return Conditions and Status List. Have you registered for the course on our website? You will need to do this in order to complete the multiple choice questions associated with each video to achieve your certificate. Let's go to our next video, an introduction to the last done, next due technical records review at the end of lease.